Hi everyone, welcome back to Alpha Art Gallery's Meet the Artist series. My name is Kaylee Chung and I'm here with Jessica Margo, who's an exhibiting artist for the New Brunswick Art Salon photography exhibition opening in January. Hi Jessica, how are you today?
Hi, I'm good. Kaylee, how are you?
I'm
Nice to.
good. Yeah. Thank you for asking. Okay, so right into the questions. The Wave series you have here with us beautifully captures the essence of the ocean, transforming waves into evocative, almost abstract images. You've stated that this project has brought you meditation and healing. Can you speak more to that inspiration and how it influenced your creative process?
Sure. I started creating this series during a time when I was looking for some personal renewal. I was walking on the beach nearly every day and following the natural rhythm of the waves just helped quiet my mind. And then, in this kind of meditative, more introspective state, my creative expression just flows more easily. Working on this project encouraged me to let go, find some flow, and simply be present so I could capture, the unique energy and rhythm of the individual waves.
Yeah, that's really powerful. So being from from the New Jersey area, are these photographs taken locally?
Yeah, actually, all the images represented here are taken in New Jersey.
Oh, nice. And are there any specific locations along the coast that you're particularly drawn to?
Well, about a year ago, it was October of 23 when this whole series began. I had given myself a gift of time alone, what I called and referred to as my artist residency. It was actually a self-funded month away from home and disconnected from everyday life. I rented a small cottage in one of the beach towns here on the New Jersey coast called Point Pleasant, and very familiar with that beach, having grown up going there, my whole life. So it was very comfortable, and that's where the majority of these images have been made so far, though not necessarily all in that month, because I've continued working on these over the past year and developing the series even more. And since then, I've moved to the beach area from northern New Jersey. So I'm still making pictures within the context of this series and just enjoying myself doing it.
Wow. Okay. So in your artist statement, you mentioned that careful observation is central to your photography. This attention to detail shines through in your nature series.
Thank
What
you.
inspired you to focus specifically on the ocean?
Well, it was just something that happened kind of organically while I was on this self-funded residency. During the first couple of weeks, I was trying to focus my photography on what generally is my preferred genre, is street photography. Trying to recreate that energy I feel when walking in the city with my camera just wasn't really translating to the quieter environment of the shore, especially in the off season. Um, but on my daily walks, I often had my camera along with me, and if not, I had my iPhone. So always have a camera with me. And while photography wasn't really the objective, slowly the changing rhythms of the ocean, along with the rhythm of the walking, just calmed my mind as I was looking for that renewal and finding it. And my creative energy just started to flow in this new direction.
Okay. So for our next question, how does the ocean's environment influence your approach to observation? I know you touched upon that a little bit.
Right. Well, I would say, its best influence is just the environment itself, which helps clear my mind and I can get into my own little flow and, just kind of forget about everything else that's going on in the world and in my life. So that's really, the most important aspect of it. But then, once I am in that state of, more meditative observation, that's when I can really be fully attentive to the ever-changing tides. It takes some careful observation to see the patterns being created by the ocean's energy. Also watching how the light is changing and where the water is picking up some of the reflections and color from the sky. So it's, just attending to what you're doing in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see how you definitely would need to be in the moment and lots of observation. Okay. So as for your technique and style, can you walk us through your process from capturing the ocean photos to editing them in a way
Uh,
that achieve your unique painterly style?
sure, sure. Um, Well, so a few years back, I started playing with slower than normal shutter speeds for handheld photography, experimenting with varying lengths of time as well as subject matter. Sometimes I'm moving myself to help create the motion, which is commonly known as ICM or intentional camera movement. But also sometimes I try to stay steadier, even though I am hand holding a slower shutter speed, and just try to allow the natural movement of whatever it is that I'm photographing create this softer feel. I started doing this on the street at first. And those were probably more intentional ICM. The waves are an extension of this experimentation, but in this regard, I generally am holding my camera a little bit more steady and allowing the, energy of the ocean to create the feel of these photographs. They're all single frames created in the camera. Post-processing is, basic. Possibly some cropping, some basic toning, and just adjustments to, bring out the colors that are already there. Sometimes I shift the color balance slightly if I want to just, make it a little bit warmer or cooler. But, nothing that shifts it extraordinarily so that it still has that natural color feel.
Yeah. Um, so in your series, I'm struck by how each photograph of the waves is so distinct, even when the subject matter is similar. For example, your photo Mystical and Boundary both depict waves, yet they convey very different emotional atmospheres. So I wanted to know what factors influence how you decide to evoke specific emotions.
Well, it's I try and respond to what the ocean and the atmosphere presents in real time. As I'm working with the ocean, and its energy, my energy certainly feeds off of that. So it helps to set the mood and guide the story that each image tells.
Yeah. And how do you approach the challenge of ensuring each wave image feels unique and meaningful while still drawing from the same natural subject?
Well, each wave is inherently unique. It's a matter of observing how the waves are taking shape, how one might be playing off of another. And each day is different based on weather conditions. The tidal level at the time of day I'm shooting has an effect. I'm usually out there at the latter part of the day when the light and colors in the water are influenced by the shifting sky and the setting sun. So each image is also influenced by, my perspective, where I stand in relation to the waves, being up high and off to the side will give me something completely different than being on ground level and looking straight into the waves. So, I try to vary where I'm standing, the direction the waves are coming in at. And I just, try to play with what's happening at each given moment because it's constantly changing.
Yeah, that's so true. So for my next question, your other two series, Life in Trees and Vignettes, also focus on natural subjects. Are there any other natural elements or environments you're eager to explore in the future?
Yeah, I mean, in those series there are a number of elements that I still, enjoy playing with. I mean, in New Jersey, we don't have these vast grand landscapes, so it's hard to kind of do a lot of that type of photography. So you have to like really look for more intimate details in the environment. So, I do enjoy shooting trees and flowers and all different aspects of nature. So, since moving to the shore earlier this year, some new work has been developing as I've continued to use motion to create work with these painted or painterly feels, using the natural elements that, I've enjoyed before. I'm also working with, sunsetting skies, which, we didn't have access to as much in northern New Jersey. We don't have the open landscapes. So now I can use the sunsets to enhance some of what I'm doing. And I'm even using some of the seagulls and seabirds in motion. They captivate my attention on the beach. So There's, new subjects to work with down here, but I'm also, incorporating some of the things that I've always loved. Also with the dense housing on the water areas in New Jersey, there's also some man-made elements that peek through, which just sparks new ideas. I'm not sure how to always incorporate them into the natural setting, but they're here. And so I am trying to work with them and figure out how they might fit in as I'm working. So
Yeah,
lots of things to work with.
that sounds so interesting, and I'm really eager to see what you come up with next.
Thank
Um,
you.
how do you envision pushing the boundaries of your photography with these new subjects?
Well, I really try not to feel too constrained by subject matter or technique in my photography. I just really like to play and see what can be created. But there's naturally things that I'm more drawn to and others that don't usually pull my attention. But there are times something piques my interest and I start working with it and it's new for me. A recent example is actually something that I just mentioned, the seagulls. I've been incorporating those as I've been walking along the beach. They're around, a lot. And I don't consider myself a wildlife or a bird photographer at all. It's not a genre that I've, preferred or had much interest in. But walking the beach, they capture my attention. So I've been making some interesting images, again, using motion. These are, have a little bit more of an impressionistic feel. They're not so sharp, like you might see more documentary style bird photography, or, where they're trying to capture a specific activity that the wildlife is doing. These are more, like I said, impressionistic, softer feel, using the motion of the flight and the ocean, both to create these images. And it's just a new process of trying new things and, enjoying working with them that I haven't before.
Yeah, I can really feel your passion towards photography. So that's really cool to see. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. So lastly, is there anything you want to add or talk about that we haven't touched on?
Not really. I think, we've covered the aspect of, my nature photography. It's, not the primary genre that I have focused on for many years. I really do enjoy working in urban areas and um, I hope to get back to that. But, I'm just kind of in this transition in life right now. So I'm taking the environment that I have in front of me and trying to work with it. But my street photography is still something that I love and would love to get back to, and continue working with. So hopefully that will come. And I really just want to thank you for sitting with me today and for the interest in my work. I'm really happy to be part of this show, and I look forward to meeting all the other photographers,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Is there a way people can find more about your work?
Oh, yeah, sure. Thanks for asking. I have a website, which is just Jessica Margo Photography, or jessicamargo.com is easier. I'm on Instagram at Jessica Margo Photography, as well as Facebook. I'm just who I am, Jessica Margo. So you
Okay,
can find me
awesome.
all those ways. Thank you.
Um, well, Jessica, thank you so much for being here with us today. We can't wait to see your work at our upcoming photography exhibition from January to March. Thank you again and have a great rest of your day.
Okay, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thanks.